go. Video series number 3 on rebuilding my beautiful named truck of Sandy, 1985 K2500. We already cleaned up everything. Not the best we could, but the best I was allowed to do it at the moment in time. But the first thing we had to do was start replacing all the rusted out panels on the bed. So I was cutting off the old ones, positioning, straightening, trying to fit that panel there. And even though I cut it off as straight as I could, it still required a lot of work. Right here, I'm just fitting it, trying to see what I need to do, make sure it's going to fit right. Then I end up marking it with a Sharpie to act as a guideline for my grinding wheel, in all hopes I do it halfway right and the lines come out straight. So start with, after the lines are marked, I try and locate all the spot welds that are inside the fender well there, and then work my way around and grind that panel all the way off. This was a little bit of fun, but it was my first panel, so I was trying to be careful, not kill myself. Because just like in the intro, the damn grinder likes to kill me. But we got that all loosened up. And just trying to get that damn thing loose. That way it's not attached to the inside frame anymore. And look how fast I work. Just grinding away, zipping that panel off in high speed. And I tried staying right on that line as designed. I did pretty good. The end result wasn't too bad. But, you know, I got better on the next panels after I had done this one. This one is definitely a challenge for me, trying to see where GM welded everything up, set everything, how they placed it, where the rust decided to weld itself to. Once I got all that figured out, I was able to get it loose, wiggle it out of place, and eventually pop the dang thing off. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. So of course, always got to inspect it. Not sure why. Throw it away, put the new one on, see how that fits, see if I did a good straight line cut or not. And it wasn't too bad. I had some high spots, a couple low spots. Can't do much about the low spots, of course. But there's a lot of work to grind it away, get it perfectly flush, perfectly flat, at least as close as I could, so whenever I go to weld, I'm not welding in 1/4 inch gaps. And everything lines up side to side, front to back. So here's me just trying to grind off all my high spots, get everything down. Before this, I did put the new panel in, and it didn't sit right, so just hammering away some of the sub body, I guess you would call it, the little structural framing on my bedpost pillar, and the part started to fit better. Just a lot of grinding. I really started to hate grinding doing this, but it all worked out. And after several pads and several errors, I finally got the whole thing up to where I wanted it to be. Yep, so just position the panel over and over and over again. Try and find out where my high spots were. Sometimes I'd use a marker so that way I could remember right where the high spots were, and I had to trim down a little bit with the grinder. That panel had to have come off here 100 times easily. And I'd get it on there, it looked just right, then I'd move my head and I noticed there's a big gap that I would have a hard time filling. So I'd grind it again. Take it off, put it back on, take it off, put it back on. But finally fit, So I had to take the panel, clean up all the paint off of it. That way I can make a good bond with the weld without, it falling off anything any more than normal. Because with my welding, it's hard to say. I'm not a professional. Never claimed to be. So I need every bit of help I can get. Now, by the time I'm done with this truck, I'll probably be a lot better welder. So using my magnets, got that panel set up into place. It's not perfect yet, but I'm going to tack it into place, test fit more or less, see what has to be done if anything else. So I tack it maybe 10-15 times along the whole path from front to back, sit and play with it, and actually had to cut it off and grind off my tack welds, do some more grinding and get it back on. It just could, I could not win that battle, but it finally went. So here's pictures of the tack welds I did. They're not pretty, but give me a break. It's my first panel. They do get better. It just shows how close those are. And before I button it all up, it's pretty much a completed weld all the way across there. And ground it down and got it ready for Bondo and more hammering. Actually, I had to hammer that pretty flat, do a little bit more grinding, a little bit more welding, but ground it flat, and more or less here's the finished product. Doesn't look too bad. After all the struggles of getting that panel done and it turning out pretty good, I was quite impressed that I succeeded. I had no doubt that I would, but I wasn't quite sure, to be honest. And I don't have footage of it. I don't have pictures of it. I'm not sure why. I know I took video, but I can't find it anywhere on my phone, on my computer, or on Google Drive. So it's lost footage. But I have all three other panels done. At the rear of the truck, as that video showed, I did that one, I did the other side, and I did, I guess it'd be the front of the bed also. Now that was a little bit different. I had to, the only way I can get those replacement panels was for a short bed, and this is a long bed. So, of course, those were a little bit short. So I had to cut them down, which was okay. I didn't need that big of an area to repair. I would have just liked it for uniformity, but it worked. And every panel I got better with my tack welds, with my process. And one of the best ways I found to do it, and I'll show on my next video probably, is to cut the piece while, how should I say it? Put the new panel on top of the old piece, tack it in place, clamp it in place, and then cut out your weld at that point. Try not to nick the new piece, but if you do end up nicking it and it's a tight fit against the sheet metal, then when you go to install it and weld it in place, there's a lot less cleanup. So to do that one panel, and I didn't think it took this long, but it looks like it took several hours of labor to do that one panel. Maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. It took a lot of time. And that's why I did a voiceover on that, is because there's so much footage. You would be bored out of your mind if I let you watch it all. I know I was editing this video, especially having to hear myself talk. I don't think anybody likes hearing their own voice too much, except for politicians. But everything got better. I got better, the job got easier, and the other three panels went really well. Now next week, or the next video, once I can get that out, it shows where I'm replacing an entire panel, a big sheet of sheet metal, because when I was doing some grinding and cleaning up, I noticed there was a lot of Bondo I didn't think it was that bad because you can't see the inside of the panel. But I like to tell people it looks like a fat woman's behind, just with all the cellulite on it. It was just dimpled. It was crinkled. It was, I think they tried pulling a lot of the dents out with heat, and it warped the snot out of it. So instead of battling with that, I cut it out, put a new piece in, and I only had one problem with it. But I'll show you what I did on the next video, so please join along for that, and thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe and share the hell out of the video to any friends that might enjoy it. And if you really want to help me out, this is one of my earlier videos. I think this is number 3 on this truck and a few other repair videos I've done. To advance my YouTube career or my affiliate programs, I need to have, I think, 1,000 hours of viewing. So if you watch the first 5 minutes of any of my videos, you don't like it, leave it play, walk away. Turn the volume down, walk away. Whatever you need to do. Let that video roll 100%. And maybe if it's on autoplay, it'll play my other videos 100% and get my hours up. That's cheating, I know. But until I get subscribers like you, until I get people to like it, until I get people to share it, I need all the help I can get. Join me for the next video where we replace a big piece of metal and I screw up a little. Thank you.